Welcome to the Ritmos, a podcast that deals with the life and times of Louisiana mobster Claude Ritmo as he makes his deals and deals with powerful people. A happy but also sad tale. Welcome to the Ritmos. Welcome to the Ritmos. This is episode 3, A Serpent for the Senator. Now, this is going to be a rather interesting but a very intense episode. So, I want you to hold on to your seatbelts. Recording this a day early because I think it's needed. And so, without any further ado, let's go into A Serpent for the Senator. Okay. Make sure I got this right. Come on. Wrong one. Here we go. July 12th. 12 p.m. at the Ritmo mansion in Baton Rouge. 2 limos pull out front. One of them, the driver, Mike, approached Claude. And Claude says, I want you to take Brittany back to her penthouse for me. And Mike's asked, coming home to Shreveport today? And Claude says, are you kidding? I'm kicking in at the Queen Maria riverboat. Give me some gambling. Have this meeting with Mike Watts, the campaign manager for Alan Harrison. Back on the sides, I need a break from Catalina. She's getting too intense for me to handle. Okay, so it's 12:30 p.m. Claude checks in at the Queen Maria and makes his way down to the hotel where he put in his ID and card to the desk clerk. She hands him the key cards to his suite. And Paul Winwood, the Riverboat Hotel president, escorts him to his room. Beatrice will take your luggage and your beer, Paul said. Since no permanent citizen has checked in, you have the executive suite. Upgrade. Fantastico, Claude said, using the key card and tipping the bellhop and Paul generously. Okay, so it's 1:30 p.m. From his bedroom on the Queen Maria, Claude picks up the phone and calls Richard. And Claude says, you're damn lucky. I'm giving you this assignment. Especially after that stunt you pulled with the CBD. He says, Senator Cordell Wheeler is going to be at Shreveport Monday evening at 5 p.m. Your job is to find a way to get a driver over there to the airport to pick him up, take him to the Queen Elizabeth. There was a brief silence over the phone. No, don't call Catalina, you dumbass. She already knows. Besides, she hates men. There's a longer silence. Make sure you don't bring in candy until his second night there. Brief silence. You imbecile. I'm not paying you to like it. I'm paying you to get it done. I know you don't like it, but it's an important favor for a powerful Texas family. And let me tell you something. Lady Betsy Hendrick is not someone you double cross. She's a lady, but she's also a desperado. Interesting that Claude would say that about Betsy. 2 p.m. At the chop shop in Baton Rouge, Catherine approaches Sid. And she's like, take the rest of the day off. And Sid's like, I can't play hooky now. We have 12 cars to dispose of collectively between here and Shreveport. And so far, I've only been able to dispose of 4. Get your crew off their duff, Catherine said. Bruce, one of the crewmen, approaches Sid. We just put 2 cars in the crusher. Now we just got to see to the 6 that are behind in Shreveport. Sid sighed. All right, Catherine. Have it your way. I'll take us into the finest suite in Baton Rouge. Ashley's girlfriend is going to watch the kids. Besides, we have to fly back to Shreveport with Claude Monday night, Catherine said, smiling with glee and taking Sid over to the Chevy Suburban. Okay, so now it's 3 p.m. And get this, here's the setting. It's Queen Mary Casino Bar. There's a lot of noise going around. And Claude had been gambling for about 40 minutes. And he makes his way to the bar to some Cajun instrumental is playing in the bar. And this girl said, her name is Stephanie, long time, Claude. Hi, Steph. Anybody looking for me? And Stephanie says, I have so much to use. What'll it be? Bourbon. Stephanie chuckled. Now, that's not your usual poison. I have some important logistics to work out with a political aid. That's why I said bourbon. And Stephanie's like, got it. And so here comes somebody walking into the hallway outside the casino into the bar. You know, you can see a man with a gray beard and dark blonde hair. He shakes hands with someone, bourbon hand, and he walks over to Claude. Hello, Ritmo. Luke Shunk, the gentleman said. I asked for Mike. Where is he? Forgive me. I'm a new aide. Mike just checked in on board this riverboat. You got me cojones. Now what the hell do you want? Your messages have been received. Mike wanted to set the boundaries for the meeting tomorrow morning. What are the ground rules? We know about your favor for Betsy Hendrick. It's not open for discussion with Mike because that would not be fair. Pardon me, but that's not your business. Picking off a senator takes lots of courage. Watch your back. Okay, so at this point, Claude is pissed. And he stands up, puts his hands on Luke's shoulders, and rounds his back against the back of the chair. You tell Mike to his boss works. And his boss works for me. And you're not going to see a damn thing. Not a single damn thing. Look. The meeting tomorrow is to discuss the learning for Alan Harrison's campaign. I told you what the ground rules might have. We're not reaching out for bargain basement. And Claude's like, do you not know who the hell you're dealing with? Betsy Hendrick, his husband, wouldn't dare approach me for a deal like this. Are you kidding me? No. Not joking. You have ears. What the hell is the matter with you? Just to claim what I stated earlier, the Hendrick favor is not allowed for discussion. It's closed. I'll have your job in the morning, and when the morning comes, Claude said, putting down his empty glass and walking away. And so, here comes Mike Gordon over to Luke. Luke, what the hell is the matter with you? He walks in the bar. I really heard this argument between you and Claude Ritmo. He's a force to be reckoned with. Monday morning, you're to clear out your desk. Alan is going to be livid. Okay, so it's 4 p.m. It's in Shreveport. At the Ritmo Mansion in Shreveport. Catherine. Oh, they decided to go to, they decided to check in, go back to Shreveport early. Okay, I see. And Catherine is talking to Catalina. Mi primo. He's coming in from Los Angeles in a couple of weeks, Catalina said. Anything you need for his trip, you be sure to let me know, Catherine said. To Claude he's taking this weekend and hanging out with both us. And Catherine's like, now come on, girl. You know better than that. Look, I understand you hate men. But why did you marry him? He has the money. He has the bulging, flexing muscles. And he's a strong, silent type. Honey, your values are being misplaced. I married Sid because I deeply loved him. Still do. Despite his criminal alliances. It's how he puts food on the table. And Catalina starts going through history saying, he had a boyfriend before Claude. He used to try to placate her. Thin and muscular. But he was a mouthful. And she's not gonna, she's not gonna put up with that from a man. And so Catherine's like, she told me that Claude is in Baton Rouge on political business. The Hendrick favor. And Carolyn's like, I saw how you looked at that woman. She is Mrs. Money Bags. And so she calls the cops, the shots. And Catherine says, she and her husband, they both do. He just lives in Washington, D.C. on political business. And the latest gossip is that he wants to come home. And she said, and Catalina says, I wouldn't take him back, not on our ranch. And Catherine's like, it's not that easy, Catalina. They share 3 kids together. The tale is, he financed that ranch. So, there's some elements of J.R. Hendrick Texan Consort in this episode. Now, we go to 6 p.m. Claude is having a boudin casserole dinner when his phone rings, and it's Richard. Claude, I'm kind of nervous about this, and Claude says, take your lube packs. Laura says, that seems to calm you down. You calm down your bundle of nerves. Just do this. Ashley has the itinerary. You coordinate with him. I thought you wanted me to coordinate with Bob. And Claude's like, Claude slams down the glass of Jack Daniels, and he says, imbecile! Ash just want to sign behind the favor now. You work together with him, or you're going to get it when I get back home. So now it's 8 p.m. at the Pyramid Bar. Richard goes and sits beside Ashley. After he shoos a girl off for a time. And he says, well, Claude says you have the itinerary of Senator Cordell Wheeler. Richard says that. And Ash says, I do. Bam Snob goes to New Orleans to see his family for the 4th of July. Instead of going to Shreveport or Baton Rouge, where there might be seeing us, Ashley said. I'm trying out candies from Baton Rouge Monday afternoon. But she's going to be encountering him until Tuesday night. And the Monday evening, there's no time wasting. Better get artists to pick him up at the airport and take him to the Queen Elizabeth. I'll pay the check. Candy. In as well. Something about Richard just seems kind of odd. Now it's the 13th at 7 a.m. Catalina is on the front porch, tending to the look at the horizon, when Lady LaSalle, their 71-year-old neighbor, walks across the street to talk. I say your roses compliment your morning glories, Lady LaSalle said. First off, I am no lady, Catalina said. What kind of lady puts up with her husband, who's out on vacation, hanging out with putas? Miss Catalina, what's your language? Lady LaSalle said. First up, I grew up proper, Assemblies of Christ. And second of all, your husband, Claude, is an asset to this community. If you don't count some of the moral issues and criminality. Oof, this is getting heavy. Okay, so it's 9 a.m. Meanwhile, on the Queen Marie, Claude is meeting with Mike, the political aide in the Congressman Alan Harris in the conference room. And Mike says, "We were serious about the ground rules, Claude. No discussion about the Hendrick favor," Mike said. "Now, I understand that the mighty Cordell Wheeler is campaigning for our opponent. He calls himself a conservative Republican? What an idiot." And, okay, so Claude took a cigar out of his mouth and spoke. "He'll be marked for that. Don't you worry. It has nothing to do with the favor. The McGraw family supported him in 86 and again in 92. But the next election, he's gone too far." And Mike says, "Kristen Barton is our girl." Tim Montgomery, the assistant campaign manager, said, "Her husband runs an advocacy company, and so he said that he will not run for the Senate. His wife, she's hungry." And Claude says, "Hungry is what we need. Now, here's our contribution from the McGraw family. $1.3 million, Claude said. Mike steps up to receive it. "Damn, you're good. This puts us at $6.3 million. Well enough to start the fall campaign." Wow, interesting. Okay, 1 p.m. Mike DeBus, Claude's underboss, is meeting with Richard and Ashley at Ashley's house in Shreveport. And so Ashley says, "I called Candy, and she's agreed to do the favor. It's done. I fly her in Monday, get her checked in at Queen Elizabeth. Then Tuesday night, when he gets back on the boat from the rally, that's when she moves in." And Mike spoke up. "We know after that rally, he's the one who wanted to stop for a drink or two at the bar. We conveniently got her seated where she smiles at him. Easy. But it don't sound right," Richard said. And Mike says, "Do you want Claude to grab you by the hair and jog you across this lawn? Now we're doing this. Right now, his high and mighty attitude. He don't care about what's right and what's wrong. Gossip is around. With him and his wife, Amanda. Things are too cold at home. Woo! Heating up. 3 p.m. Claude is at a blackjack table on the Queen Maria when Candy walks up to him. How about a glass of Jack Daniels? And Claude says, crushed ice, not chipped. Claude says, had any wins yet? Okay, so here's the guy. Silver Rutledge. He said, had any wins yet? This is Claude's advisor. And Claude says, keep hitting 21. This morning, my first win was 11,000. Now, I'm up to 1.3 million. You just came here for money on a political investment. And Claude's like, now all the $100,000, all the $100,000 goes back to Catalina. She wants some diamonds and some extra money to buy furs when the fashion season starts in fall. It'll be good to have her fly to New Orleans for Fashion Week. Be good to not have her around. And so I said, why'd you marry her? And he said, I was living poor on the garage dirt floor when I came across her. She broke it off with her ex-boyfriend, fell in love with me hard and fast. She had me fly to Albuquerque to have the Casino Chapel wedding service. Then we drove to Lubbock, and then another flight to DFW. From there, I got my car back from Arnold Correctional, and we headed straight to Shreveport. Sure annoyed the hell out of Mama that I got myself into that marriage that quick. And Silva says, you go see your mama. Not until I get this political favor done. Which Richard better be acting on her. I swear to God, I don't have to have his hide. Do you mean head? She Silver, chill and sit down. Last thing I need is you raising hell and poke into my business. I'll go see my mama as soon as this thing is over. And I ain't popping no captain. 7 p.m. The phone rings at the house of Lillian Ritmo. She runs and answers it. Miss Lillian, she said, answering it. Have you read the morning paper? I read from the Shreveport Advocate that your son is now opening opposing Senator Cordell Wheeler, Lady LaSalle said. Oh, ain't that a crying shame? Lillian said, shaking and crying. Jackie and I raised that kid better. And he knows it. Cordell Wheeler is an outstanding gentleman. Other than you, your regular newspaper, I wanted you to be the first one to know. The Advocate, Lillian said, garbage. Goodbye, Martha. Okay, so it's 9 p.m. in his room on the Queen Maria. Claude is feeling down about his encounter with Silva. He's starting to feel depressed about how his crew has been functioning lately. This ain't McGraw. Catalina, bless her heart, she don't put up with crap like this. Why should I? So, you see, I think he's starting to pine away from Catalina. Now, it's July 14th of 1996. It's 6 p.m., 6 a.m. The Queen Maria docks in New Orleans as Claude wakes up to look out the window. He picks up the phone to call room service. Bacon, eggs, toast, orange juice, and coffee with 2 sugars light on the cream. He picks up the phone and calls Catalina. I just got one more day, honey, and then I'm coming home, Claude says. Te extraño, Catalina said, with a smile on her face. When are you coming home? Listen, I'll be leaving at 5:10 in the evening. Don't talk to any of my officers and men. This is top secret. I love you, Claude. Y te obviamente extraño. 7 a.m. Claude receives his breakfast. The phone rings. It's Sid. And Sid's like, you want 15 cars crushed on Monday, right? Claude says. And Claude says, I ask you to do me another favor. And Sid's like, what? Claude gets forceful, slamming down his fork. Ask you to give me another favor. I want you to put aside one of the Cadillacs of the customer wants to buy, but it is arranged the Cadillac is going to Candy. Cordell, again, you got wax buildup in your ears? Between you and Richard, I feel like I get a fleet of morons I did you a favor by solving the CBD crisis. The least thing you can do is do me another favor. Claude slams down the phone and goes to his breakfast. 1 p.m. Okay. Carolina has just come home from Mass when she is accosted by Catherine. Why don't you tell me that Claude is not supporting Cordell Wheeler? Carolina said. Hi. Why don't you tell me that your husband is backing off supporting a nationally renowned senator? Okay, so she's like, Catherine, first of all, back off from me. Second of all, you must have been down at the party on the 4th of July to see Claude served at this lady. Scared of this lady who wants something done about that man. This man has put money in my pocket. Conservative causes. I'm a high-class lobbyist. Do you have, and Catalina Lucy, do you have brains? Your husband, through my husband, put food on your table. So now that you have this nosy attitude, you have 5 seconds to get off my property, Catalina said, taking her gun. Get out of my way, idiota! Ooh, Catalina, ay, ay, ay. So now it's 2 p.m., and back on the Queen Mary, Claude is in his suite listening to some old school country music when a knock comes to the door. It's Silva. Claude, look, Claude, I must apologize. They was very snarky at me yesterday, Silva said, lighting a cigar. Good. Robin, please. Hold just a... Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Let's get back to the matter at hand, if I can. Oh, man. This don't look good. Unless you guys have patience, technology is not cooperating. Let's see. Okay. Come on, give me something. That's not good enough. Come on. There we go. I'm sorry, guys. Lots of technical difficulties today. So, okay, where were we? And Claude said, well, I was pretty tough on you yesterday, too. I really want to tell you, I'm sorry. For what it's worth, Sid is being a moron. Catalina called me about half an hour ago, and evidently he can't keep his nosy wife in line. Jim McGraw said last year, before he died, Serpent left the power in you. You did the biggest mistake he ever made when making Sid a general and Richard a captain. Should have kept them as associates. Tragic the way Jim died. I mean, colon cancer. And he was only 45. Jim was the motor boss. But it sounds like I'm going to have to be tough like he was at the end. When I get home, I'm going to get Sid talking to. I already called Mike when I found out what he was up to. Let Mike deal with him. You tell Mike I said with extreme freaking prejudice. Okay, so it's 3 p.m. And, so Sunday, so the casino's all quiet. Claude makes his way to the bar. And Stevie said, what can I get for you, cowboy? Double Jack Daniels on the rocks, Claude said. Suddenly, Claude's phone rings. And it's Catalina. Baby, where are you? And are you coming home? Catalina said. And Claude's like, would you settle the hell down? I'm trying to take care of some loose ends. I'll be home. You can pick me up at the airport around 7 tomorrow night, Claude says. Catalina starts to cry. Te extraño. Oh, come on. Don't start bawling. I'm here making money so I can pay the bills. Okay, so now it's 6 p.m. Central. At the Ferraro house, Catherine has invited Episcopal priest Father Salvador Leon. And Catherine said, I'm surprised Sister Mary couldn't come, Catherine said. Well, I think our marriage is in trouble. I caught Mary cheating, and she accused me of spending too much time at the church, the priest said. What's wrong with her? That happens to be one of the reasons why she married you. Where's your husband? He's coming in. So Sydney walks in, the door says, I'm home. What's for supper? Lasagna, Catalina said. And Diane walks in and says, hello, Father. And it's one of the 4-hour daughters. She says, Dad, Richard is posting all over the internet how he don't like my curriculum at school. Great, Sydney said. I'm already in enough trouble with Claude as it is. What Richard should be doing instead of prowling the net, is looking to ways to trap that senator. And the priest said, if there's a problem, I'll go. And Catalina said, there's no problem. Sid, Diane, no business talk at this hour. Okay, so now it's 7 p.m. And on the Queen Maria, Claude gets a back table and even the restaurant when one gentleman approaches him. Whitmo, what is this about you getting into politics? That's against mob rules. State Senator Chauncey Ford said, don't tell me about the rules. It's a favor. It's a favor here, a favor there. Because the U.S. Senator is running away with his damn ego. I've been asked a favor by him, regarding him for political expediency. Leave Cordell Wheeler alone. You don't have to get involved in this. I want to support him. But there's a chance in Washington, D.C. He sold his soul. That means I have the obligation. Why? Mind your own business. You promised me to contract with the colonnade. With Power's help, I can. No, Claude. Not until and some eating some boudin. The fall election season, which we can have a final vote. By the way, thanks for the drink, anytime, Claude says. And Claude orders a martini and some bourbon. So, some more boudin. Okay. So, as we are seeing, it's getting very interesting. So now, it's August the 15th, 5 a.m. The Queen Mary is anchored to New Orleans, Louisiana. And Claude is looking out the window, starboard bow, from out his window. 7 a.m. Ashley calls Jackie on the phone. And he says, it's on. And Jackie said, how will we get Candy Crush to the airport? And Ash, you owe me $10,000. So it's 9 a.m. Meanwhile, at the Rittenhouse Mansion in Shreveport, Catalina is talking to Claude's mother. Mama, don't believe everything that the papers say about Claude, Kathleen said. It's discouraging. My son going after a United States senator, Lillian said. That U.S. senator? Kathleen said. He ain't nothing but a pig who pretends to be nice. Shut up. Okay, here we go. That U.S. senator? Kathleen said. He ain't nothing but a pig who pretends to be nice to people, especially women, and then he stabs him in the back. That's why Claude is punishing him for me. That's awfully sad and prejudiced of you. Mama, Claude knew what he was getting to when he married me. I told him straight up, I just hate men. What did your daddy do to you? My pedestal. He used to scream at Mama, beat on me, and beat my dog. He could kill my dog if he wanted to. That's right. That is why I hate men. He abused you? Hell, abused me badly. And my brother, his son, was such a bad boy. He never hit him. Catalina's pass is coming out. Okay, so it's 11 a.m. Claude gets off the Queen Maria before it is put back to port for a couple of days, and they would be returned again on Wednesday, the 17th. So he rents himself a car with a car phone, and he connected to his cell phone. Sydney Ferraro calls. I spoke to Richard. He and Ashley are going to get Tony Clinton to pick up Candy to take her to the boat, Sydney Ferraro said. I have a bone to pick with you when I get back. You'll just have to meet me tomorrow at the chop shop. 1 p.m. Claude checks in early at the private jet terminal to get a snack and get some work done. When the phone rings, it's Ashley. Jackie is taking Candy shopping for some clothes. She's banking on the senator being lonely at some point. And so the arrangement is for them to meet on the bar on the Queen Elizabeth. Once she gets into him, I'll give you a call. Hey, you get Richard to give me a call. You're his number 2. So Richard has to do it, Claude said. Okay, so it's 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Cordell Wheeler is in his executive flight jet to the Shreveport when he picks up the phone and calls his chief aide, Mike Thompson. Amanda is going to be speaking at some ladies' charities up in New Orleans. So don't bother her, the senator said. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine. You said there was an upstanding business associate that was going to be picking me up at the airport. So don't be so anxious. Not a big fan of Cordell Wheeler. Okay, but here's the part here. It's 7:30 p.m. Arriving back home from the airport, Claude is accosted by Catalina. Where on earth have you been? I've sat here, waiting all day for your love. And you show up late? Catalina said. Woman, I told you it was going to be until this evening. When I get home, Catalina walks over and hugs her husband. It's okay, cariño. Because I understand. Honey, you don't have to explain. Claude takes her by the hand, and they're about to make out. On the phone when Richard calls. You're late, Richard. What the hell? Claude said. Sorry, boss. I just thought you'd like to know. The senator is on Queen Elizabeth. Don't call me next time until he's back on the boat for the rally tomorrow night, Claude said, hanging up the phone and turning to Catalina. Now, where were we, darling? 11 p.m. So, at the Pyramid Bar in Shreveport, Sid is meeting with Richard. You fool, Sid said. Got careless. Now the boss is going to knock me around because of your stupid mistakes. Don't play around anymore with a political favor like this. Just because you don't feel appreciated at work. I know my wife is messing around, Richard said. You want me to ask Catalina to snoop for you? A bag of weed for that, sure. Lay off the coke, Richard. It's dulling your focus. Yeah, you notice episode 2. That was when Richard started being on the coke. So that's pretty interesting. Where is... having trouble here. Look this up. This is ridiculous. Let's try this again. Okay, so it's July 16th. It's 8 a.m. Claude comes into Kick's Landing chop shop, brushes past the other employees, spots Sid, and knocks him against the refrigerator. You see, after all this crap, this is what you get. How many times do I have to tell you to keep your captains in mind? Boss, please. Give me a break. Richard's back on the coke. I can see it in his eyes. Oh my God. I want you to tell him to go to knock him off of it. Something. If I have to, we'll make a court order to put his butt in rehab. This is an important political favor for one of the most richest and powerful families in Texas. I do not want this screwed up. Sid gets up from the refrigerator. Do you want me to look after the senator? No, okay? Richard has that job. And damn it, he will execute. Woo! I don't think I've ever seen Claude this pissed before. 1 p.m. Claude and Mike Dubusque are having lunch at Serpent, a prodigious Italian restaurant in Shreveport. Can you believe the senator? He's opening up a rally tonight for Harvey Christian. That's Alan Harrison's opponent. He's misplaced his values. We don't might get him in D.C. We voted him in D.C. because he promised to be a new Republican. He lied. And I can't tolerate a man so slick lawyer who lied. That's why I bet Hendrick came to me for this favor. Who ruined the guy's political career. He never should have ran for the Senate, Mike said. Keep this among ourselves, Claude whispered in Mike's ear. once that call girl is done with him, he'll be begging people for mercy. Not bad. Okay, so it's 2 p.m. It's downtown Shreveport. Richard is in his office at the offices of Christian, Montana, and Knight. The most prestigious law firm in Shreveport. Baton Rouge. When a paralegal walks in to talk to Richard, he says, "So what do we have today?" the man said, sitting down across the desk from Richard. "Well, let's see. A RICO case, a theft case, and the defamation case against Senator Cordell Wheeler. We're representing Lucretia Wilkes on this one." "Damn, you would never stop." "Till I die," Richard said, laughing. Okay, so it's 4 p.m. and on the LSU Shreveport campus, Senator Cordell Wheeler is speaking to some populist Federalist students outside. The academic hall where the political science department is. Okay, so now it's 6 p.m. No, it's 8 p.m. on the Queen Elizabeth. Senator Wheeler slips into the Fletcher Smooth Tavern. "Long time, Senator. Can I get you something to drink?" Angela, the barkeep, said. "Shirley Temple with a little vodka," the senator said. Candy saunters into the bar in a shiny blue dress and goes and sits down next to the senator. "You have a lot of good work." "My work in Washington is just getting started." What was this budget battle going on? "Where's your wife?" "I don't know. Somebody shared a mixer in New Orleans." "And I bet it gets lonely." The senator knew and turns to her, half drunk, after drinking first 4 Shirley Temples with vodka. "Sweetie, you don't know. You don't even know. I tried to get her to come with me on some political things, but ever since 92, she's been on some political junket of sorts. Katie puts her arm around the senator, Cordell Wheeler. Well, for now, maybe we can fix that. 8:39 p.m. Outside the hallway, Richard calls Claude. She nailed it. Walking there with the senator to fix his pipe, Richard said. Showing guts, Claude said. But I didn't hear that you're... But I better hear that you're staying away from the rock. And we know what that rock is. That rock is cocaine. We all know that. Okay, so here we go. It's the night of the 17th at 7 p.m. St. Stephen's Episcopalian Church. Senator Cordell Wheeler is confessing his sins to the priest there. And the priest suggests that the senator, at some point, find courage to tell his wife and to make amends to the public. 9 p.m. At the Ritmo house, Claude and Catalina are making mud. You did good, Catalina said. You did it rough by punishing that prideful senator for me, Catalina said. My daddy would have done the same thing. Back in the 60s, some state senator got caught with his hand in the cookie jar by influence peddling. And the man thought another family. So what Daddy did is he did the same thing that I did with Cordell Wheeler. Except I did it with a smile. I like the way you think, Catalina said. Okay, so it's the next day. It's 6:30 a.m. Claude and his captains, all his officers, are having dinner together, and Catherine walks in. So this is how you boys do it? Taking a fine, good man and destroying him? Senator Cordell Wheeler didn't do nothing to you guys. Catherine, go back home, Sid said. No, Sid, I am not going back home. I can't believe you guys have the fortitude to do this crap. Senator Wheeler has done good works for the city. He was a fine lawyer. Here. And even finer man. Claude stood up. Sid, you run in your wife and take her outside right now, or I'm busting you a rank. How dare you, Catherine says. Disrespectful, Richard said. Disgraceful. And Claude says, I may go ahead and bust him to Lieutenant General anyway. If he's not careful, Catalina will get his ass, Claude said. Let's get back to the matter at hand, Mike said. The one that deserved the accommodation around here are Ashley and Richard. Richard, if you can stay off the coke for a year, I'll bring you up to major. Maybe Ashley deserves to become a captain later on today. So it's 9 a.m. and of course, Catherine walks onto the lawn. She's raising hell. Punovia, you disrespected my husband. In our husband's business, Catalina said. I don't think you understand. Oh, I understand perfectly. I don't know where you come from, lady. But where I come from is disrespectful for a woman to go after their husbands when they are conducting business. Make sure this is right. That's the same thing. So, Karen says, "What do you care? You hate men." And she said, "I have half a mind to beat you black and blue. But since our husbands conduct business together, I have to tell you this. Quédate aquí. Don't come back here until you show respect." Okay, so it's 1 p.m. at Richard's law office. He is conferring with the client regarding the defamation case against Senator Cordell Wheeler. He says, "Now look, I talked to the senator's lawyer this morning, and they spoke to him, and he's willing to settle. What we asked for is $900,000. The senator is willing to give $900,000 every last time." Bob Wilkes, the client's husband, spoke up. "Is he agreeing to apologize? Offer restitution? And make a retraction?" He said nothing about apology. But as for retraction, yes. And restitution, being this settlement, it's from him. Maybe you'll be stupid to take this. Just like you were stupid for filing for this thing, Mr. Wilkes said. And she says, And Lucretia stared at her husband. A watch. Looked down at her shoes. And then bolted. And looked at Richard. Take the deal. All right, so now it is 2 p.m. Back at Cypros, Claude and the captains are in the back room drinking wine and out of boots. And Claude says, the senator flew to Baton Rouge this morning. His career is tarnished, Claude said. Next order of business, Richard said. Since that state senator won't play ball and giving us a contract for the colonnade, we're supporting his opponent, conservative Democrat John C. Waite, Claude says. He's forgotten many of our bars things. And he seems to be a nice guy. Good character. I say we get Mike Todd out of office and put this guy in, Mike said. And Sid said, I'm sorry about my wife. She got what she deserved from Catalina. And Claude says, double-crossing that woman could be a person's last mistake, Claude said. I tried that a year ago, and she beat the hell out of me. All right. Hope you enjoyed listening to the Rip Notes. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of the saga. This is the James Hendrick Empowerment Network saying until next time, the saga continues. It gets a little bit more spicy from here.